Aloha, this is Dr. Martina, your online sex therapist and sex educator. How to rekindle passion. This is quite a big topic for this week, and it's a very popular question. I've heard it many times. I've asked myself that same question many times in my relationships during my life. And you actually wonder, how does it get to that point? Because when you first meet, you're in love and everything's okay, sex is great most of the time, and you just don't think you even have to deal with that because it's always going to be like that. And then sex and the activity of having sex and making love actually loses its priority in life. Things get in the way. It's not as good as you remember it being, and you are avoiding unnecessary or uncomfortable conversations, and you're hoping that it will change, and then it just remains the same, and then frustration kicks in, maybe affairs kick in, maybe that seems to be an easier solution, but you know what, it doesn't have to be this way. I have 3 essential steps for you to take if you want to rekindle your passion in your current relationship. So, the first thing is that you both need to be on board. Changes will not occur in your sexuality if only one person is looking into it and working about it. You got to do this together because it takes 2 to tango, and it's never only one person's fault. So make sure that you have the conversation where you realize, we need to make a change. I want to make a change. And this is actually an exciting realization because you can learn this and you can create changes together, and then your sex life will be better. It will be more frequent. It will have passion in it again. It will be exciting because all of this is possible, but you got to do this as a team. It is a team sport. Having sex with your partner is a team sport, so you both have to be in on it, and you both have to be committed to doing some work to make changes in the sex life that you're currently having. So the next step is where it gets a little sticky. This is where we have to roll up the sleeves of our egos and just kind of dig into it and make sure that we are asking, that we're having a conversation with our partners, and that we're asking difficult questions. Questions we are afraid to hear the answer for because, nobody wants to be failing as the lover of the person that you're in a relationship with. But we do fail them, because if we don't ask questions, then how can we know what the other person really likes if we don't ask questions? And this is what a lot of couples do wrong, especially in the beginning. Everything is so hanky-dory and everything's loving and everything's perfect. And then those things that felt perfect are not perfect anymore because they weren't in the first place, but they were kind of like buried with all the emotions that were participate. But we have the right to express what works for our body and what doesn't. So for that, we have to ask the question. Let's talk about what works. What works that I do with your body? What works for you? What do you like when I do what? Please tell me that. And then I tell you what I like when you do, so you can help them out if you already have something in mind that you want to say. But just really make sure that you're honest about it and always come from a loving point. Because these questions need to be asked, and especially the ones that need to follow. Okay, now tell me what I do that turns you off. You want to know that, right? So ask those difficult questions. Ask them what you do that doesn't turn them on. Ask them what they want different, what they would like to have different. Ask them about their expectations that the other person has from a sexual encounter with them. Do they want a full-blown orgasm every time? Or is it more important about an emotional connection? Or is it important that both happen? Or, it changes. So maybe, I can tell you, let's have some sex, but I just need to get off. Or let's have some sex, but I just want to really connect with you and be emotionally attached to you that way. How do you know what is liked and what is not liked? So you have to ask these questions. And, if you put your ego aside, you're going to be okay with this, because you're going to find out what's missing so you can correct that and then get better at it. And then everybody will gain from this. Everybody will benefit from this, your partner and you and your sex life. So ask the difficult questions and be kind. And the third step is to be in the moment. That you both agree to be in the moment. To be in the moment with your body, first of all. So talk about your body as it is now. Don't talk about what used to be good and all that stuff, because it really doesn't matter. What matters is what your body needs now, and it changes. Your desire for certain sex changes as your body changes. So give your body a chance to have a voice now and stay in the moment with it. Be in the moment with love. And what that means is there's a rule that you don't get to say never and always. Those are the two words that cannot be part of this conversation, because if you want to come from a moment of love and you say things like, well, you never do this anymore, I always do this. First of all, it's not true, because never and always is not true. It's not 100%. And then secondly is it comes with judgment. And if you judge the person in this conversation, then the other person will get defensive, and then there goes the conversation with honesty and kindness. And nobody is going to gain anything from that type of conversation. So stay in the moment with love. Don't use the word never and always, and come from a loving and kind place. And the third thing, stay in the moment with grace and gratitude. In other words, listen. The more quiet you are, the more you will hear. So listen to your partner with grace. Listen to your partner with gratitude, because you will learn about your partner. You will learn things about them that you didn't know before, because maybe they weren't there before or you didn't talk about it, but it's happening now. And since you want to make a connection with your partner at this moment in your relationship, then you have to be there with grace and with gratitude. And here comes the plus step. You probably wonder what that is. The plus step is, after those 3 steps that you've taken, is if you feel like you need help, that you both agree to get help. And that's when you call a sex therapist. That's when you call me, because I'm here for you to help you with this. Your sexuality can be the glue in a relationship. So there's absolutely no reason that you would not spend any energy and time of making your sex life with your partner exactly what you want it to be. Because then the rest of the relationship will have an easier way. It's proven. That's just how it is. So reach out if you need help. And make sure you're both on board about reaching out if you need help. Okay? And I'm looking forward to hear from you